Hello, it's John Heaton, and tonight I'm going to continue my review of Supertramp albums and review the last album they did with the classic lineup, including Roger Hodgson, 1982's famous Last Words. Came out in around October 1982, and then they did a pretty big, I'm not sure if it was a world tour, but they certainly toured around Europe, and I saw them at I think it was Earl's Court in 1983 on their farewell tour with Roger, and it was very enjoyable. So we were all massively excited when this album came out because it was the follow-up to Breakfast in America, which had been such a gem from 3.5 years earlier. So a long wait. Perhaps they waited too long, although with hindsight, the band wasn't really gelling behind the scenes. Particularly Roger and Rick were not seeing eye to eye, so it's surprising in some ways that they even made this album, because they didn't really see things the same way musically. I don't think they really enjoyed working together much at this stage. So some pictures there on the inside sleeve, the words, and a nice label with the scissors and the rope, and the scissors just about to cut there on side 2. So actually, remember the tour opened with the rope and Bob C. Benberg's drum beat, which features at the end of this album, and the scissors coming closer and closer, and then finally cutting the rope, and then they moved into the opening track, which was crazy on that world tour. And it's also the opening track of this album. It's a kind of bouncy commercial song from Roger. It's okay, but it's not in the same league as similar commercial songs from Roger from Breakfast or previous. It's not in the same league, sorry, but just being honest, it's okay. That's all I can say. It's not offensive. It's just nothing special. Put On Your Old Brown Shoes from Rick is next. Again, nothing special. I think Rick's kind of gone a bit too commercial, which is against his inkling for years to do that. He first tried it on Breakfast with great success with tracks like Goodbye Stranger and Oh Darling, which were gems and also more or less single material. And here he's tried to do another song in the same vein or even more commercial, although it wasn't a single. And it's okay. I mean, it's catchy. It's a bit forgettable, really, as a song. But, quite nice musicianship. Again, not offensive. Next track is the first classic on the album, Roger's It's Raining Again, which I think he'd had in his collection of songs written many years before this album. But for one reason or another, didn't get around to recording it until this album. Very catchy, glorious tune. Just love it. I know it's pop, but it's high class pop, and this single was a big hit. I don't think it was top 5, but it was certainly top 20. So I love it. Bonnie is next from Rick. It's okay. It's a kind of ballad, but it's if you compare it to his previous ballads like Downfall or Oh Darling, it's not in the same league. It's okay. It's okay. Know Who You Are finishes side 1 in very impressive fashion. This is a brilliant tune from Roger. Could really have been a Roger solo track because I can't hear much participation from the other band members. It's basically an acoustic number. Brilliant. My Kind of Lady opens side 2. When I first got this album, I thought Roger was singing the middle 8 bit, but it's actually Rick singing his falsetto. So Rick's singing the whole song, and there's a video to go with this where Roger participates, but you can see he doesn't really want to be there. And it's quite an amusing video, and it's quite a catchy song, and I like it. I think it's Rick's best song on the album, and I love the sax from John Anthony Halliwell towards the end of the track. Brilliant. So nice one, Rick, that one. Didn't do too well as a single, but good effort. Sailor Bond from Roger. I think it probably belongs more on a solo album than a Supertramp album. Nice melody, particularly the middle eight. Okay words, but nothing special. Nothing special. Waiting so long. I'm kind of repeating myself here because very few of these songs are classics. I think It's Raining Again and Know Who You Are the only ones which could be afforded classic status. Waiting So Long goes on too long and pretty uninspired. Don't Leave Me Now closes the album from Roger. Really nice piano entry, pounding chords, and you think, hey, here comes a classic, and then after about a minute you're getting bored of the song because it's just one verse and that's it. So there's not much variation, and after a minute and a half the song gets a little bit boring and then becomes the drums at the end, which are quite fun. So, I don't know, I mean, it's well produced, its musicianship is more or less there, the songs are not, for the most part, and I'm going to have to give this album a 7 out of 10, which is 3 marks lower than their previous 4 albums. So, sorry about that. It's got its moments for sure, but and then it's better than most of the albums which followed without Roger, of course. So this still has moments of greatness, but they're few and far between, I'm afraid. Thank you for watching. See you next time.